the 9 plus the 68, and it's only worth 83, that's pretty tight. In a fire sale, you'd lose your shirt. Make sense? Okay, but the cash flow was beautiful, right? So understand that what I just did here is an owner financing deal. It's in a price point where people can come up with 10 grand. So think of this, and I'll give you the rules in just a moment when I'm done here. All right? So here are the numbers. This is what happened. Okay, the all-in price was around 80, and it was worth only 83. But it's the cash flow I'm looking at. How many of you would like to buy something and earn a 31.8% return on your investment? Can you get that in the bank?
No.
You can at my bank. All right, my IRA makes this kind of money. All right, so understand that when the dust settled, we were out of pocket about that much money. Yeah, that was the beautiful thing. 431. It was a 2% loan. It was beautiful. It's beautiful. It's still beautiful. Every time I drive by that one, I go, yeah. All right. So here is your information. By the way, this isn't in your book. You need to write this down. All right? We talked about the cash in the 70 cents on the dollar in the middle income. All right, minus repairs, minus your wholesale fee equals your maximum allowable offer. Everybody got that? All right, notice in the moderate and also in your war zone. I made a mistake. Look at that. We got to change that. That's 50% right there. All right? Right, 50% cash. All right?
No, zero is the right number.
All right, because I am taking it off their hands. I am a nice guy. You're right. Okay. All right, so let's talk about the cash offer. Here's another example. 180, it's in a moderate neighborhood in the metro Atlanta area. Is that a true statement? Okay, so that means it's 126 minus the repairs of 5,000. You wind up with 121. All right? And you can see that we can, after the wholesale fee of 10,000, we can only pay 116. Everybody got that? Okay. All right, but understand that when you're making the cash offer, every once in a while they owe more than what you can offer them in cash. All right, but pause for a second. I want you to understand that I have a story. I'd love to tell you, but not right now because we're running late. I want you to know that somebody brought $50,000 to the table on a $123,000 property. Why would somebody bring $50,000 to the closing table just to get rid of a house and sell it to me? What's that?
Save their credit.
Their credit? It's even better than that. I asked. All right, here you go. Now we're going to do terms. This is going to get kind of fast and furious, but you'll like it. Here we go. We've got a 20% down payment, happens to be, a $20,000 payment, happens to be 11%. So is 11% better than the bank?
Yes.
So we're in the park. I'm now giving you another way to structure an owner financing terms deal. The next thing, the principal balance is 160. So that works, right? All right. The thing is that we now are going to make a 0% offer, which means that we are going to divide it by 10 years, and the monthly payments happen to be this, principal only. There is no taxes and insurance on this, just principal only. All right? Do you feel that in this particular neighborhood where the houses are selling for $180,000, that the rental rate would be at or slightly above this number?
Yeah.
Okay? So who are we going to sell this to? Are you going to buy it?
No.
Why? Because it doesn't have the two ingredients that you need to get out of your job. Perfect. The way you get out of your job is what?
Cash.
No, I thought you just handed in your resignation. Okay. All right. So here's another one. All right. I skipped back. I got so excited. When we're talking about money, I get excited. All right. Everybody knows that? Okay. All right. So here we go. All right, now what we're going to do is this is the next level, all right, of a terms deal for your maximum allowable offer. What we have is the taxes and the insurance. You'll notice that the taxes on a monthly basis are $116. The insurance is about $100 a month. They got some really nice furniture in this place. The next thing is that we have to add the taxes and insurance. This is the total PITI, principal, interest, taxes, and insurance. All right? Now, the homeowner wants $190. We talked about $180 earlier, but it's really only worth what? $160. All right, you see there's some dysfunctionality there? It's kind of scary, isn't it? But reality is this. If you want the American dream, because you came from Afghanistan and you had 7 kids and you only had $700 in your pocket and you could buy a house for $20,000 down, would you bust your butt and get 4 jobs and put every one of those kids to work at 10 years old? And the answer is? All right, now the good news is that you found that person from Afghanistan and you put 10 grand in your pocket. Is that a good deal? Plus, you helped an individual realize what? The American dream, the reason they came over here. And because they have this kind of cash stashed. Because why? They don't trust the stock market and they don't trust banks. Other than that, they're good folks. All right? I had this is a story, I love this story. I had a guy say that he wanted to know if he could bring $80,000 to the closing table. And of course, that's what the price was that he needed to bring. But the thing that got me was he wanted to bring it in cash. And can you imagine somebody walking in with the handcuff, with the briefcase, the James Bond thing, black glasses, 4 guys, you know, all the SUVs roll up, and he steps out. And, you know, by the way, you can't do that now. There's these rules that the banks have, so you can't do that for some odd reason. You know, down in Miami, you used to be able to do that. All right, okay, so my question is this. Do you understand at least some of this? All right, there is help out here. There are other educational experiences that you can get from Atlanta RIA, creative deal structuring, marketing. There's a note buying class that Atlanta RIA has. These are all available for free for the members of Atlanta RIA. This is where you're going to be able to get the reinforcement of this information if you want to get it for free. If you want to get it faster and shorten your learning curve, then you're going to go to somebody that knows how to do it. You're going to go to people that are experienced in it, and you're going to get coaching and mentoring. So let's move on, unless you've got a question. Okay, Art?
If I understand it right,
Yep.
we have an act, a signing contract,
Okay.
or subject to, or a wraparound mortgage, or all 3 are very similar.
All right, let's start. Let's break it down. You have the lease option. You have the ACTS program. You have subject to, you happen to have, let's see, contract for deed. You happen to have wraps. And you happen to have, or what's that? Owner financing, sure. All right, do you understand that there's a lot to learn? I've only scratched the surface. I can't possibly give you this information and get you out at 9 o'clock. All right, is that a fair statement? Okay, now, this is all available through the resources of Atlanta RIA. It's available. Those members can get this stuff for free. You just need to go to the meetings. Yeah, it's gas and a dinner and some good entertainment. All right? Okay. So let's talk about contracts and clauses. You got a question? Beats me. It's an acronym that Ron LeGrand came up with, and all I know is, all right, say it louder.
Assignment of contract and terms.
Right, so what that means in English is, that's how you buy upside down houses. That's the only thing I know about it. I know how to write them, I know how to make money off of them, and I make money off of them. And I am marketing for them right now. Okay, all right. So let's talk about it. Contracts, this is the paperwork. All right, your paperwork. Where can you get contracts? Realtor, perfect. Online. Okay. That's not the best place, but it is a good place to get a template. LegalZoom. Now, I like that, but they got some clauses in there I don't like. But anyhow, what I want you to get is this. There are only 5 components to a contract, so you can scratch them out on a napkin in a bar. What's that?
You can get it from me.
Yeah, you can get it from Rock back there. All right. First off, you have to have a buyer and a seller. Is that a true statement? Right. Then you got to figure out what you're buying and selling. Is that a true statement? Okay, that's the clauses. Are we buying a house? Are we buying a car? What are we buying? So the legal description is what you're buying. Okay? And then the next thing is you got to have a purchase price. Make sense? Okay. So then the last part of that is you got to have signatures. Who's buying and who's selling? That's it. That is a contract. You can just sit down with somebody and say to them, what is it that you want? What are your expectations in this arrangement and relationship? Well, I expect you to buy my house at $70,000. I expect you to have it closed in 10 days, and I expect you to do it with cash. Can everybody write that down? All right. Now, what's important to you when you buy? You got to have clear title. Because if you don't have clear title, you might take on a lot more debt than you anticipated, especially with this small governmental agency called the IRS. All right? The next thing that's very important to you is you got to make sure that it's not eaten up with termites. The next thing is that you have to be aware that you need time to